the soul.
Hello guys, Amber here. What's going on? Hope you're all having a lovely day today. And today, I'm starting a brand new series on my channel. Yes, it's a series called Amber Reviews. And yes, as you guessed by the title, I'm going to be reviewing stuff. Yep, that's right. I will be reviewing films, video games, TV shows, and all that sort of stuff. So let's just jump right into the first episode, shall we? In this episode of Amber Reviews, I will be reviewing the awesome yet obscure show, Uncle Jack. Yes, Uncle Jack. This show aired on children's BBC from 1990 to 1993 and ran for 4 series, which contained 6 episodes each episode being 25 minutes long. You do the logic. This show starred Paul Jones, lead vocalist of Manfred Mann for 4 years, as the main protagonist, Jack Green, without an E. He would go on adventures with his niece and nephew, Kate and Michael, whilst promoting environmentalism, in a good way. Not forgetting that Fenella Fielding, yes, Fenella Fielding, my idol, and Valeria Watts from Carry On Screaming, was in the show too as the Vixen. The Vixen would come up with diabolical schemes to try and attempt to terrorise the world. This show also starred other characters like Dorothy Greco, and also Cynthia Birdwood, and also Jose Cuervo as well. So let's start with the first series, Uncle Jack and Operation Green, which aired in late 1990. In the first episode, we are introduced to Kate and Michael Stevens and their parents, Edward and Elizabeth Stevens. Uncle Jack first makes an appearance about 2 minutes into the first episode.
Who don't you think is odd?
Hello, Uncle Jack.
Did you see me on television? I watched it on the early news.
I want a word with you.
Hi, sis. I thought I'd pop round.
You've made this family look absolutely ridiculous.
Over the next 6 episodes, we see Uncle Jack accidentally getting a hold of a formula for a lethal new gas being developed by the Gas Chem Company after bumping into Jose Cuervo, played by Jimmy Harkishin of Coronation Street fame. The 2 envelopes got mixed up. One of the envelopes contained the gas formula, and the other contained a letter about pollution that Kate's teacher, Miss Taylor, wrote. The Vixen appears in 3 of these episodes, carrying the can, kidnapped, and all tied up. Episode 4, aka Oil, has them going to the seaside somewhere. Well, Uncle Jack, Kate and Michael. And they stay in some bed and breakfast.
Seaview Guest House, please. It's beside the sea.
Something to do with oil and something about being in the sea and something like that. You know, you get the idea.
Stop nosing around or you'll lose more than your shoes. Be warned.
In episode 5, the parents get kidnapped. Yes, Edward and Elizabeth get kidnapped by the Vixen. And this really made me fangirl. I mean, you had Fenella Fielding in the bad part.
Untie us at once, or we shall be forced to report you to the police.
Oh, Tot. Hansel and Gretel are upset. What's this? Secrets? What do you do whispering about? I would strongly advise you to tell me.
And, well, she was just so good at it, to be honest. She's like the queen of being bad. Well, not in real life, obviously. In real life, she's a really nice person. And I'm meeting her in November, so hopefully she'll have a lot of stories to tell about being an Uncle Jack. In episode 6 is probably one of my favourite episodes out of the entire series, over the 4 series, yes. Episode 6 includes a Bugsy Malone-style food fight.
How terribly exciting.
And they're at a kid's birthday party. I think Kate and Michael went to it. Yes, Kate and Michael went to a kid's birthday party and it ended up having a food fight with the Vixen and Uncle Jack involved. And they're all getting cream everywhere.
Creamy.
Seriously, this is mad, this is. This is just absolutely crazy. I mean, and then it's just, wow. Did I forget to mention that the Vixen has a pet alligator and piranha fish? Yes! Yep, she definitely does.
Well, hang on. Let me get it out of the box. My pet lives here. His name is Cuddles. Cuddles loves to play. And he likes to play best with my tiresome guests.
What does he play with the mat?
I do like a man with a sense of humor.
And at the end of Kidnapped episode 5 on YouTube, there is an interview with Andy Peters and Fenella Fielding.
Fenella, welcome to the broom cupboard.
Oh no, Andy Peters might get eaten by the piranha fish.
Well, my piranha fish have never yet tasted a television presenter.
Oh, I don't think they want to, really. Now, I know that you used to be in Carry On films. I must ask you, were they good fun to make?
Yes, they were.
You know, you never have
Yeah.
anything quite like the formula in those, would you?
I beg your pardon?
Quite like the formula that you're after. Nothing like that in Carry On films.
No. Well, I don't know. I think there would be something like that in Carry On.
Something quite...
I think this is very similar to Carry On.
So basically, Uncle Jack ends up coming into the Vixen's hideout and whoa, she's got an axe, oh my goodness. So basically, the Vixen attempts to kill the parents and then tries to behead Uncle Jack, which, if she did, that would be kind of exciting, kind of creepy. So anyways, Kate and Michael end up freeing the parents, but the Vixen somehow manages to escape by going in some sort of warp hole thing in her hideout. And, well, her hideout is never to be seen again. Long story short, Uncle Jack accidentally gets hold of a formula for a lethal new gas being developed by the gas chem company. But MI5, the Russians, and the Americans are after it and all request help from the world's smartest criminal, known only as the Vixen! But what's her first name, though? We may never know!
Have you ever thought about working for intelligence?
Oh, but we do work for intelligence, don't we, children?
Yes, we're saving the planet.
In my opinion, Uncle Jack and Operation Green has to be one of the best series in the franchise. I mean, it's got food fights, Kate and Michael getting into a white van. Wow, if only life was just like an Uncle Jack TV show series. It would actually be really cool. I'd have to give this series a 10 out of 10. So here's a new layout I'm using for my series. Yes, I'm going to be rating it 10 out of 10, but with a few sidelines as well. Yes, I'm going to be giving it points for the storyline, characters, and the setting, and then an overall score out of 15. So let's start, shall we? The storyline, basically, they're all after a lethal new gas formula, and yeah, that's all I can say really. I'd have to give the storyline a 9 out of 10, because, I mean, I would give it a 10. I would give it a 10, but obviously, yeah, I don't know why. For the characters, obviously, you've got the sweet Kate, the rebellious Michael, the awesome Jack Green, the smart Vixen. I'd have to give the characters a 10 out of 10 in this. The setting, well, the settings are quite dull, to be honest. I mean, some of the settings are just plain boring. So I'm going to give the setting an 8 out of 10. And basically, the 8 being the restaurant with the food fight. No, okay, I'm sorry, okay. I like all the places, but they could brighten them up a bit. But then again, this was made in the 90s, so there's no way to change that now, is there? And now, on to the next series, Uncle Jack and the Lock Knock Monster, which aired in late 1991. Now, in this series, we're heading up to Scotland. Yes, Uncle Jack and his sister's family are back again. Yes, that's right. But this time, we're heading up the country. In this series, we meet Tammy, whose father, Angus McIntosh, has disappeared and hasn't been seen for 2 days. Oh, I'm sorry, where are my manners? Angus McIntosh is Uncle Jack's cousin. But it says on Wikipedia, Angus is his brother. Huh.
Gemma, who should not come to take me to home?
Tammy, is that you? It's your Uncle Jack.
Who?
You remember, we've come to stay with you and your dad for a fortnight's holiday. Your Uncle Edward wrote your dad a letter.
I did write. I did.
Thought you were the people come to take me to home.
Now, why would anyone want to take you to a home?
Because Dad's run off, that's why.
Run off.
Edward, do light the boiler. We're all very wet.
Right.
So basically, Uncle Jack then discovers that the marine base at the lock is hiding something after also seeing a radioactive material which basically looks like green fluff that keeps appearing everywhere that ties in with the mystery of his brother's disappearance. Oh, sorry, I mean cousin. Meanwhile, the Vixen is up to her old tricks again and wants to use the radioactive material to terrorize the world. Now, the Vixen has undergone a makeover. Yes, well, she looks the same, but more makeup and a cyan coat. Jose Cuervo has teamed up with the Vixen. Yes! They're the dream team, the dream duo, yes, in Uncle Jack and the Lock Knock Monster.
Stand back.
The Vixen appears in 5 out of the 6 episodes. The only one she doesn't appear in is Something Sinister. Anyways, if you want to check out we've got a couple of fan websites on the internet. We've got Ultimate Uncle Jack, which unfortunately you can't access anymore, but you can access it via the Wayback Machine. The link will be in the description down below. Also, my website is coming out soon, which is Uncle Jack Fan Sites. Yes, it's going to include all information on over 4 series of Uncle Jack and the characters. So please do stay tuned for that. And we've also got interviews with Jim Eldridge, who's the creator, and Fenella Fielding, who I'm interviewing in November. So please do stay tuned for my website to go live. In episode 4, they're at the Edinburgh Festival and they're doing some sort of performance. Well, the guy of the bed and breakfast is. Yes, the guy of the bed and breakfast is doing a performance of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Yes, you know that story, where Dr. Jekyll makes a potion that turns him into a monster called Mr. Hyde. Yeah, I don't need to explain anymore. So, unfortunately, due to a tragedy, some people he know, or his family members or friends, cannot help with the performance. So, Uncle Jack and his sister's family have to help. But oh no, the Vixen and Jose Cuervo have followed them up to Edinburgh. And oh no, Uncle Jack spots them. And oh my goodness, the Vixen with children! What? That is mad. I swear, I fangirled when I first saw this scene. This scene, like, oh my goodness, you can literally see the children. They're really good actors. I mean, Jeremy Swan, the director, was really good at casting these children. And all the others, too.
Very considerate of you, Mr. Green. Come on.
But what about...
Not in front of witnesses, you fool! Hurry up!
This series in all was absolutely mad. You've got scientists, monsters, explosions. Oh, I forgot, the monster is Angus McIntosh. Yes, he was actually the monster. He'd actually been contaminated by the radioactive material. And oh, look at that, he's back again. But oh no, Uncle Jack's gonna get dunked into the cauldron and burn. So, but then, apparently he's immortal. But then the Vixen has to escape in a submarine. Yes, one of the Vixen's bases is a submarine. Yes, you heard me right. It's a submarine, definitely. At the end of the series, the submarine ends up exploding. Well, the whole thing doesn't go into pieces. It only just makes a few minor holes, which basically means the submarine is invincible. So, all the Vixen and Jose Cuervo have is umbrellas, which I think is kind of cute, to be honest.
My bomb should be going off any minute now.
And then all the witnesses against us will be gone, and we will be able to make the new monster again. Hooray for instant monsters! Water is falling into a big hole up there. What should I do?
Why don't you try shoving your head in it?
Anyways, it all leads up to a happy ending. Angus McIntosh is safe and sound with Tammy, and yeah, we don't even know what happens after that. Do they go home? Do they stay? Does it make the local newspaper? We'll never know! Long story short, Uncle Jack and his sister's family visit his cousin and his cousin's daughter, Tammy, in Scotland, only to find that he has disappeared since he went fishing in his boat at Loch Nock and Tammy has been left at home on her own. Jack discovers that the marine base at the loch is hiding something after also seeing a radioactive material that keeps appearing everywhere that ties in with the mystery of his cousin's disappearance. Meanwhile, the Vixen is up to her old tricks again and wants to use the radioactive material to terrorise the world.
Well, after all this excitement, I think we could all do with a nice holiday.
Yes, somewhere nice and peaceful and away from it all.
With no villains and no toxic contamination. I know where we can go.
Where?
Loch Ness. We might see the monster.
Now that is a wonderful idea.
No! In the Loch Nock monster, well, she doesn't really escape. It just shows her with an umbrella getting all soaking wet, so we don't know how she escaped. A little bit of trivia for you guys. When Operation Green was put on YouTube, the Dark Side of the Moon series was then uploaded onto YouTube, so it was the second series to be on YouTube. So I watched it in the order. Basically, I watched Series 1, then Series 3, then Series 4, then Series 2. So I keep thinking that Series 2 is the very, very end of the show, when it's actually not. It's actually the second in the franchise. So I need to clear up confusion there. So for Uncle Jack and the Loch Nock monster, I'm going to give the storyline an 8 out of 10. Yes, an 8 out of 10. Only because it gets a little boring afterwards. But the Edinburgh Festival and them going to it just makes it, it's alright. It's really good, yeah. Characters, I'll have to give a 6 out of 10. Only a 6 because, oh, Tammy's so annoying with all her insults and her yelling profanity, well, not profanity, but insults. Just look at the insults she fires.
Oh! You call me a liar, fish face. Well done. I don't want you and your friends poking noses into my business.
And also the setting, I have to give a 10 out of 10 because the setting is so geeky and stuff. You've got the woods, the marine base, the Edinburgh Festival, Tammy and Angus's cottage, and yeah, it's alright to be honest. And now we're on to the third series, Uncle Jack and the Dark Side of the Moon, which aired in late 1992. Unfortunately, in this series, Kate and Michael's parents don't appear, nor does Michael, unfortunately. According to Uncle Jack, they're on a business trip in America, something to do with Edward and the bank.
Kate says there's something funny going on there, and I'm responsible for her now. The rest of the family's in America for a year. Edward's on some sort of job exchange with the bank.
But Kate does appear in this, though. However, she's at a boarding school in Brimley Crompton, and she's joined by her friends Yasmin and Errol. Jose Cuervo is now at the school, ran by the evil Miss Bones, whose nephew is Kevin, whose dad is also Sir James, probably one of the richest people in Brimley Crompton. So, this series is set at a boarding school with a standing stone in the school fields, which when a code is activated, Miss Bones or Sir James can go into the secret base. But number 1 is minding over the secret base. But who's number 1? Oh, it's the Vixen! But she's in her base near the moon, the dark side of the moon. Oh, did I forget to tell you? She's had another makeover. She looks more like a cat now. Her hair is now black instead of brown, and it looks more like a more curvy ball. She now wears a silver suit, which I think is incredibly cute. Simon and Uncle Jack get kidnapped and put in the basement. Yes, they do get out. But they're really smart though. I mean, when a boy and a man are put together, they probably have the greatest plan ever. Yes, and did I forget to tell you the Vixen's back on Earth?
Coordinates 34.3 and 56.9.
34.3 and 56.9.
Speed, 50,000.
Reverse thrusters. Vixen has landed. And now to sort out Jack Green.
Yes, she's definitely back on Earth in her little rocket thing, transportation. Yes, she enters the standing stone, but wait a second. She's in the school play? This is madnesses. So, what you're telling me is, she's going to pretend to knight Sir Francis Drake as Queen Elizabeth, but actually chop his head off. But then they discover it's her, and all the kids go mad. Not forgetting there's a Spanish lesson with Jose Cuervo, and Kate keeps getting detention, which I think is absolutely mad.
Flock of cows?
No, he means a cow herd.
So what? What do I care what cow herd? You think I go something to hide?
Hide?
See.
Hide from what?
Well, hide from a cow.
Yes, you get hide from a cow. That's leather.
Hey.
Hey!
What?
You want to give her another detention? For cheek.
You're right. Missy, you got 2 detentions. Now, please!
Long story short, when Uncle Jack visits Kate at her new school, he discovers the weather around Brimley Crompton is changing from one extreme to another, with heat waves, sudden blustery winds and rain, as if someone is controlling the weather. That someone just happens to be the Vixen from her base on the moon, using a standing stone in the school grounds with the help of the school headmistress, Miss Bones, and her brother, Sir James. And her brother is the dad of Kevin, who's probably the most snobbiest kid in the world, similar to Tammy. He looks a bit like Stingy. I don't know. In the dark side of the moon, she doesn't really escape. Again, the curtain just shuts on her and, well, she's gone. That's all I can say, to be honest. With its mad school and its mad scenery in Uncle Jack and the Dark Side of the Moon, I'll have to give the characters a 9 out of 10. I mean, you got the evil Miss Bones and the Vixen looking like a cat. The characters are actually a 9 out of 10, yes, I'd have to say they are. The storyline of Uncle Jack and the Dark Side of the Moon, I'd have to give a 9 out of 10. Because the storyline about the standing stone and Simon getting Ebola or whatever, it's have to be very, very exciting. And the Vixen looking like a cat and coming down to earth, it's really good, to be honest, yeah. The setting, like the school, the standing stone, Uncle Jack's house and the other places, I'd have to give them an 8 out of 10 because they're pretty good, to be honest. I like them. I mean, they're very They're very updated, yeah. So, yeah, Uncle Jack and the Dark Side of the Moon has to be one of the greatest series out of all of them, to be honest. And now we're on to series 4, the final series, Uncle Jack and Cleopatra's Mummy, which aired in late 1993. Series 4 is a little bit different from the others. Well, Uncle Jack appears and, well, the Vixen does too. But where's Kate Stevens? Oh right, I'm sorry, I should just get into it. In this series, Uncle Jack is joined by his other niece, Helen Brimley, played by Catherine Bailey. We don't know if Helen comes from Uncle Jack's brother's family. Yeah, we just don't know. Oh, did I forget to mention that in the first episode, Uncle Jack is dressed as a penguin and goes into a library with Helen. This is mad.
Well, actually, that's a bit difficult.
Uncle Jack and Helen travel to Egypt to uncover Cleopatra's treasure. I bet this series is really fun to film with silly names, puns, pop culture, and wait, the Vixen got another makeover? What's going on? I swear, this series has to be the one with the most pop culture in it. I mean, with references to Noddy's Toyland Adventures, Muffin the Mule, and mainly a lot of other stuff. This series is probably one of the best that has ever been filmed. I mean, it's in another country, so that makes it even better. So we meet the leader, Mustafa PP. Yes, that's his actual name.
I wish to protect him from my master, Mustafa PP. Okay, I'll talk to you when you get back. No, Mustafa PP is the name of my master.
Oh! And we've got all these little Egyptian children, which really do make me laugh, not being offensive. They're just really cool, and Helen interacting and socializing with them just makes me feel happy. And yes, there's an avalanche inside the cave where they find the treasure, because in the final episode, they find the treasure! But oh no, the Vixen, she's gonna pull a cord. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wait, she's bound to be dead right now. There's a high percent chance she's gonna be dead by the time they get out. Wait a second. There's a hand. Oh my god. She's alive! How has that happened? Oh, did I forget to mention the Vixen dresses as Cleopatra in it, which gives me a reference to Carry On Cleo. She was going to play Cleopatra in it, but she had to visit her boyfriend in America, which she deeply regrets. Therefore, Cleopatra was played by Amanda Barry of Coronation Street fame. I'm actually pretty unsure if Jimmy Harkishin and Amanda Barry played alongside each other, but I'll find that out for you guys. With the massive play at the end and in the middle of the series and the songs, this series is probably one of the most joyful in the franchise. And yes, this is the series where the Vixen has more facial expressions than ever before. And yes, I'm unsure if that is a dab or not. The Vixen manages to actually escape this time by getting into a car on the run from the police. Yep, we don't know if she got caught. We don't know if she I don't know, went into another pyramid or got lost in the sand. You never know. She's still out there. Actually, no, she lives in London and now goes under the name Fenella Fielding. Can I just add? Okay, sorry. Long story short, Uncle Jack travels to Egypt with his niece Helen to find the lost treasure of Queen Cleopatra, but a mummy seems to be guarding it. The Vixen also wants the treasure and is determined to get to it first by any means necessary without anyone stopping her.
She's survived!
She's escaped again! Just as long as Uncle Jack's alright.
You know, we've had so much trouble from Cleopatra's mummy. I'm jolly glad we didn't also meet her granny.
So, for Uncle Jack and Cleopatra's Mummy, I would have to give the storyline a 10 out of 10 because the whole Jose Cuervo going after girls, Australians appearing in Egypt, Helen interacting with other children, and Uncle Jack and the Vixen, with the Vixen as Cleopatra, would have to be just absolutely amazing. And the treasure as well. Yes, Dorothy Greckle and Em and Cynthia Birdwood do return in this series. Oh wait, I don't think Cynthia does return. When I say think, I have watched the series, but I can't remember. So I am supposed to be going on an Uncle Jack marathon very soon, so can't wait for that. For the characters, I would have to give them a 9 out of 10 because you've got probably the most funniest names ever. Mustafa PP, the Vixen, even though she's a recurring character, all the little Egyptian children. I mean, you've got Salim in it, who I think, him and Helen are probably the cutest kid couple in the series. Which leads me to the question, do I choose Kate or Helen? Well, I don't really know, to be honest, but I love them both equally, but I don't know. I do love Kate, but I think I'd have to go with Helen. Sorry, Kate, but you're awesome. I mean, they're both great in each of their series. I mean, Kate's great from series 1 through to 3. And also Helen is good in series 4. So she's basically the Kate of series 4. They're both great. I love them both equally. I mean, with Uncle Jack saving Salim Snake's life, well, that's just laughable. The setting, I'd have to give a 7 out of 10 because the setting rarely changes, to be honest. I mean, all you've got is the hotel room with an explosion, the secret tomb, the Vixen's TV room, the library and stuff. It just doesn't really change in Egypt, to be honest, so I'd have to give it a 7 out of 10. So, yeah. So here's the layout for all the winners. So, the best series is... The best series is Uncle Jack and Operation Green. This series is probably one of the greatest I've ever found, to be honest, because it features Fenella Fielding. I mean, with its wacky storylines and pop culture references, it has to be one of the greatest TV shows I've ever seen ever. Not forgetting Robert Swallows appears in one of the episodes. Yes, in Uncle Jack and the Dark Side of the Moon. Episode 5, he appears as a newsreader. Did I forget to mention he starred as Captain Pettifer in Galloping Galaxies with Kenneth Williams? Kenneth Williams and Fenella Fielding starred alongside each other in Carry On Screaming. Yes, it all makes sense, don't you see? Yes, it definitely does. It's a mad world, isn't it? Yes, it definitely is. So, oh my goodness. Jeremy Swan was the producer of Galloping Galaxies. It's all a big link, don't you see? Wow. That is crazy. So, I would recommend teachers showing Uncle Jack in science lessons because I think it's going to be a good educational series. And Jim Eldridge did thank me and Talaris for uploading the episodes of Uncle Jack to YouTube for a new audience to see. I can't wait to recommend the series to my science teacher. Yes, I'd like to be shown in science lessons because I think it'd be very, very good to be shown in science lessons. I just want to thank you guys for watching this video, and it was really fun to film this because I love talking about Uncle Jack. And Fenella Fielding, if you do watch this, you are awesome. Yes, you definitely are. You are the Vixen. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye! It's absolutely crazy. Like, yeah, I don't know. So today we're gonna review Uncle Jack. Yes. I don't know. All I know is it aired at 5:25 in the afternoon. That's all I know. I think. No, it did! Oh wait. Oh my